again. It's going to be episode 2 of the K5 project. You can see it here. We've already taken the front end off. I got a little clip I may shoot in here of when we pulled the motor in the front end, but that's simple stuff. Just to recap, we're doing 2-wheel drive swap. So we're going to take out all this front axle 4-wheel drive stuff that we don't need, and we have a donor truck that we'll be bringing in here in a little while. It's got all the 2-wheel drive stuff. There's been one guy that I know of has done this online, so I don't trust everything I read, but this dude looks legit. Did a step-by-step. These front cross members, they're all riveted in, so we're just going to undo all the rivets, bolts, whatever, swap them out, and make this thing a 2-wheel drive because I couldn't find one, so we're going to make one. I got Andrew here helping me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back again with the Veggie K5, as I'm calling it. the Veggie K5. It's going to be a fun one today. So I'm pretty optimistic about today. Like Tim was saying, I think it'll be a pretty straightforward swap. It's proven, like he said, by one guy. So we're going with proven. But yeah, my goal today for us is obviously just get the new cross member in, get the knuckles and suspension and or spindles rather, and everything on, and at least mock it up. We are missing one part, which is a set of 6-lug brake rotors. That's a supply chain issue. That's what we're calling that. And yeah, pretty optimistic. Get rid of the 4-wheel drive steering box, put a 2-wheel drive steering box on. Shock mounts are going, and a bunch of other stuff will just get cut off, and hopefully the new stuff will just bolt on.
Hopefully, like, you know, I mean, it has a lot of similar holes for reference points. You know, we'll take a similar hole from both chassis, measure back to the bolt holes on the donor chassis for the crossmember location, bolt it up, and you know, obviously we'll go in and we'll set the front clip on to double check, make sure the wheels are centering the wheel wells. But I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward. I mean, this is the best way I can figure to do this, short of finding a 2-wheel drive chassis, which is nearly impossible. So I think it's time to get thrashing, right?
Let's do it.
Now, the last time, 4-wheel drive.
Really defining 2-wheel drive at the moment.
There we go. So, easy enough, kind of. Had it out in what, 45 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, about 45 minutes. We got to take off some bracketry. We got to remove the motor mounts and stuff, get a little cleaned up here. We're not going crazy on the cleaning. This is going to be a daily driver. This is not a show truck. So we're not going to sandblast anything, but we'll get cleaned up, make it look good.
You'll notice there's a lot of not show cars on this channel.
Yeah, I'm not anti-show car. I grew up in the show car world, but the part I didn't like about the show cars is worrying about them, having to babysit them. You know, can't leave them outside your hotel room without worrying about them. Can't take them to, the grocery store. With this, you can take it literally anywhere. Drive it in the rain, snow, doesn't matter. Have fun. And that's what it's all about. That's fun.
That's what it's about.
Alright, so we got some brackets we don't need. The two-wheel drive cross member is going to bolt into here. The four-wheel drive cross member is riveted in. Okay. So, like we talked about in the last video, there's a bunch of different ways to remove the rivets. I like it for it. It's a lot faster. I'm real comfortable with it. This makes the most sense for me. I'm just going to knock the heads off. If you want to refer back to the last video, part 1, about the 7 minute and a half mark. I have a great little, how to use one of these things. But I'm just going to start blasting in here, knock some of these heads off, get these brackets out of the way so we can get this two-wheel drive truck in here.
You'll notice from the last video, he's actually wearing the correct eye protection.
There we go. Torched off the heads. Take the air hammer. Start just from right behind the edge of the bracket. Pull away slightly. Little bump. Oh, voila. Let's go through and take off all the brackets you'll need. That was the bump stop for the straight axle. This is one of the brackets for the dual shocks. Knock them off. And once the rivets have cooled a little bit, there's a special tool, a pointed one, just for knocking these through. But I broke that one, so just take the edge of it, pop it right through. So here's what we got so far: cardboard template or a poster board template. We marked the holes right here that mount up to the steering box off the two-wheel drive chassis. We have the contour of the chassis back to the 4 bolts for the side. So we just matched all those guys up right here, drilled them out accordingly, and once we had them marked, set the subframe in, marked the bottom holes. We've already drilled everything out. So, fingers crossed, first time dropping it down, should go in place. Oh yeah. Look at that. So there we go. Lines up. You can see we're a little off. I have to push it back a touch, but you know, get these bolts lined up. Got all of them drilled. And so what we did also is when we're marking everything, we set the subframe in just like we did. We set the front sheet metal on, make sure the wheel was square in the wheel well. Then we also measured the wheelbase against what Google said it should be. And we're within a 30-second on every measurement. So there it is. We got some new grade 8 hardware we're going to throw in here. Yeah, and we got a 2-wheel drive chassis in about 4 or 5 hours.
Yes, sir.
You know, saving one more. This parts truck I had was going to the junkyard. Now we saved this, converted this thing over, and have a blast with it. So it's time to put some new hardware.
I want the light back. 'Cause the harsh light's not good for my color. So I feel like I was here for moral support today. You know, you have those days where you just don't feel that productive, but overall we got a lot done. We didn't get it lowered like we wanted to, really, but we really didn't have all the parts, so it's a good ending for the day. We did have some issues, as always. There's a little bit of frame differences between the two cars, between the 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. What we thought kind of we'd be able to make our base measurements off of, we weren't really able to, so there was a lot of improvising and trying to figure things out. We probably spent an hour looking at it and an hour measuring, and I'm not making those times up. I mean, you obviously want it to be correct. We spent a lot of time trying to make sure it was centered in the wheel wells. We refit the whole front clip, made sure it was centered. And then once we were really happy with it, we scribed all our holes and, you know, brought out the Hog Wild machine, you know, the Unibit, you know. And,
when in doubt, hog it out.
When in doubt, hog it out. Exactly. So.
Which really we didn't have to do. We only had 2 holes that we had to slightly elongate, and I felt pretty good out of 14 that hold it in. Only 2 just need a very minimal elongation. So
yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, so you can see. I mean, we didn't put the frame stands in yet. As you can see, it's all nasty. Now that it's together, we're gonna power wash it and clean it up, make it look good. But you can see we got, you know, got some new hardware. Yeah, it really wasn't that bad. You know, knowing what we know now, like the old saying is, after you do the first one, the next one won't be bad. But
I'm never doing this again. What do you mean the next one? Just buy the 2-wheel drive one next time. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll try harder to find one. But yeah, so pretty good ending on the first day. All the stuff in, it steers, which is awesome for me. I hate pushing stuff to begin with, but pushing stuff that doesn't steer is just, God, 10 times worse. So yeah, she's all together, and we'll be lowering it and putting the 6-lug conversion rotors and wheels and set the clip on it, and we're moving right down the road. Gonna order some Tejas mounts to put the LS in and slap that guy, you know, slap that guy in the boot. Nice. So,
what else is there to say? Another day in the books.
Yeah, another good day.
Yeah.
So, until next time.